Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 7. Yeah, I'm so excited that tomorrow we are going to be entering the real deal, the big deal, right? And this has to do with, how companies actually manage their infrastructure in the cloud. And so we are going to be introducing Terraform. And Terraform is an infrastructure as code tool. So, as opposed to the previous, practices where we have to log into the account manually when I talk about account, talking about our AWS account and create, create stuffs or create resources manually, right? Terraform takes away that stress and introduces infrastructure as code, right? So we code our infrastructure so we can collaborate with it using versions control. So again, to set you up for success, I am going to be recording this very short video, maximum 10 minutes, to make sure that you are ready for the hands-on of week 7 because we are going to go very deep in week 7. This is the advanced, very, very advanced concept, Terraform. Okay, so let's look at what you need to have in place. Right. I'm just going to share my screen. So basically, this is what you need. So let's talk about your cloud tools, right? Cloud tools. So you need to have, again, Terraform installed. Okay, that's the first thing. And then you also need to have what? You need to have AWS CLI installed. Okay. Remember we spoke about this directly in week 1. So these two must be installed. Terraform must be installed and AWS CLI must be installed. And then so once you have that, we also have what let's talk about our development environment, right? Dev, okay, environment. So you want to have also your Visual Studio Code, right? Studio Code is ready. And then you also need to have what again? You also need to have your, Git and GitHub, which we have already covered that. I'm very sure you all have it. But again, you see how we are linking everything. And then in terms of other stuff, into what you need to, authenticate, right? Using what? Using your AWS credentials. Okay. So one, you have Terraform has to be installed, AWS CLI installed, because if you don't have AWS CLI installed, then you will not be able to run a command like AWS, configure, right? You have to run AWS configure to authenticate with your account. Otherwise, your Terraform plan command is going to fail. So, so yeah, of course, yeah, so we have these. And then, of course, once you have, let's just put this as authentication, authentication, okay? Authenticating, yeah, authentication, yeah. So you have to just go ahead and run this I, okay, and then AWS configure, and then what? And then you enter your credentials, okay? So let's see how this is going to work, right? So again, you want to make sure you have your VS Code, everything is ready and up to date, right? So um, let's come here, open a new window. doesn't cost anything, right? Okay. So this is my VS Code, right? You can see. You can also open your Git batch. Yeah. Now, right, open up your terminal like this, and you can check AWS just like that. You're going to see. So if you see this, if you see this prompt, right? If you see this prompt, it means that your AWS is installed. And then of course you're going to come around AWS configure, right? To to be able to input our credentials. You also have to check Terraform. See that? You can see once you start typing Terraform, it's kind of showing up. That means that Terraform is installed. But if you just run Terraform like this, you should see it give you, yeah, you see that? So you should see it give you, all of these like that, which is, fairly normal. So you have Terraform installed, and the next thing, of course, is your account. So you need to have your AWS account set up, which most of you already do. So I will log in, and I am just going to, go to login here. It says AWS account dashboard. And so, yeah, I'm just gonna log in. Okay, I'll log in here, and let me just close some of this stuff here. Yeah, sometimes I have so many stuff open. Yeah, there you go. Right, so I'm logging as root 1, 2. We're looking at an IAM user, depending on what you want. Okay, but again, always looking at IAM user. Okay, and continue. You can see, so this is my account, and yeah, so come right here, and of course I have to go to security credentials, and you're going to generate, your, okay, see that? Security. And we spoke about this when we studied IAM, right? Exactly. So now, yeah, so you can scroll down. Yep. So by default, you are only allowed to have two. So first of all, I'm going to terminate these ones so that I can create a new one. I can delete or deactivate. So copy the key. Okay, like that. And there you go. Okay. Well, no, I think the question sign should not be there. Yeah, see that. So once I delete it, you see that now you have the chance to create a new one. So again, this was last used 27 days ago. So you know what? Yeah, I terminated it again. So just delete it. So first you have to deactivate. So just copy the key ID, deactivate, and then to delete, this is what I have to do. So now this key is deleted. The next thing now I want to do, of course, is to create a new one. It says alternative to root. So of course, but never use this. It's not a good thing. And yeah, there you go. So you see, so now I have that. Copy my access key, and I come back here. So now I see that I come back here and I run what? AWS, see that configure, okay? AWS configure. You see? AWS configure. And then I just paste this to that. And I'm gonna go to the next one. To that secret access key. And then I just paste that. So once you do this, you are good. You can create anything in that cloud account based on that permission that you've been assigned, right? So this is where I want you to be. You want to be able to authenticate with your cloud account using Terraform. Okay, so it's very, very important. Please make sure that you are on that page. Okay. Then of course, I'm going to do another video where I'm just going to like show you, like testing your Terraform or making sure that Terraform is working. Right. I'll do that. Right. Great. Okay. Perfect. Thank you.